hamburgers today?
Good morning. Welcome to the First Religious Society Unitarian Universalist in Newburyport, Massachusetts. My name is Joanna Fernandez, and I have the privilege and joy of serving as your worship associate today. Welcome again to our 2022-23 church year. If you are visiting with us for the first time today, welcome. We are all glad that you are here. And if you are joining us online, you will find a link to the order of service in your reminder email, or just below the live stream window. Every Sunday, FRS comes together as a church community, in person and online, committed to love, peace, and justice. Our core values are authentic connection, courageous action, love, spirituality, and wonder. Our mission and our invitation to each of us is to come as you are, journey together in love, act with courage, transform our world. Our worship theme for this year is peace. Take a deep breath and take that in. Peace. Sometimes peace can feel so far away from us, so far, so fleeting. At other times, it is ever so close, deep in the heart of our being, radiating seemingly effortlessly out into the world. And in these uncertain times, it is important to remember that peace is not necessarily the absence of conflict or challenge. Peace is an intentional response to conflict or challenge. Let us remember, while not always an easy one, that peace can be a choice and that it starts within us. Hold space for peace within yourself, within your life. You are worthy of it, even if for some reason, any reason, you don't yet believe it. And hold space that everyone here and those you encounter in the hours and days ahead can find at least some level of peace within their hearts, within their lives. On another note, and as one pathway to peace, registration is now open for Chalice Circles. Chalice Circles are small groups of parishioners and friends led by trained facilitators who come together to explore some of life's ultimate questions. Through deep listening and conversation, participants make strong connections, which in turn make participation in other areas of the congregation more engaging. Having been a member of a Chalice Circle, I can personally attest to all of this. Newcomers are especially encouraged to participate, as in many ways, Chalice Circles are an entryway to a rich church experience. You'll get to know a small group of people deeply while gaining more clarity of your own beliefs and values. Groups are offered at different times to accommodate various schedules, and there are in-person and Zoom options. Please sign up at the table outside after church, or find the online registration link printed in your order of service. It is such a blessing to come together. So let us give ourselves to it. Welcome once again.
Our call to worship this morning, our familiar words. If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. This time, I invite all of us here in person to turn and rise, if you're able and willing, to actually greet one another with some sign of peace. It may be a hand over your heart, a smile, a bow. You are indeed faithfully called to worship.
Good morning. Please join us in reading the words of the chalice lighting, which are printed in your order of service or in the card in your pew, while Tom and Julia light the chalice. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
Each week, we also light 2 candles of peace, representing 2 places on earth we lift up and remember as a sacred encounter with our world. There are untold numbers of places on earth that need peace. These 2 we especially hold close in this service and through the week ahead. After each candle is lit, I will say, "To this we respond," inviting you to join together in saying, "Peace, Sol, Shalom." Our first candle this morning is lit for the 50 migrants who were sent under false promises of jobs and homes from Texas to Martha's Vineyard after having already made grueling trips from Venezuela, seeking safety in these United States. We are grateful for those unexpected people who welcomed these people with open arms, and we pray for the safety and well-being of all of those who were subject to such inhumane treatment. May we always treat people with the respect and the dignity that all people deserve. To this we respond, "Peace, Sol, Shalom." Our second candle this morning is lit for cities, towns, and communities across our country who are at the start of a month-long observation and celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, running from September 15th through October 15th. We honor and celebrate American citizens whose ancestors or themselves come from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. We honor and celebrate the many gifts they bring to our country, and we celebrate those same people here in our congregation who we love and care for deeply. To this we respond, "Peace, Sol, Shalom." Please rise in body or in spirit, and let's join in our opening hymn number 389, "Gathered Here." please remain standing and let's join in our affirmation of faith and doxology. The words can be found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone. I would now like to invite any children that we have with us today to come up here to the chancel and join us for a special blessing. And if you brought a backpack or something similar, feel free to bring it. And if you didn't, just bring yourself. Is that Nash's? How are you, Julia?
Can I have mine back?
Oh, Reverend Rebecca brought her backpack too. Hey, friends, yeah, come on up, make yourselves comfortable. We're so happy that you're here. You know, today is the first day of Young Church. Is anyone excited? Is anyone a little nervous? No, just me? Okay, that's fine. Have you guys started going back to school, any of you? Yeah? Yeah? How's that going? Are you happy to be back? Yeah? You have some mixed feelings about being back, anyone? Yeah, it's complicated. You know, I don't know if you ever feel nervous about going back to school or starting something new, but I know that I do sometimes. Reverend Rebecca, were you ever afraid or nervous when school started?
I was kind of nervous. I actually really liked the woods, and I spent most of my summer out in the woods, and so going back to school was pretty nervous. I remember wondering, what if my teachers aren't going to be the same? I really liked my teacher from the year before. Sometimes my friends weren't in the same classes as they were the year before. So yeah. I was nervous. Sometimes I was lonely.
Mm-hmm. How about some of you out here, some of you adults? Do you ever remember feeling happy about going back to school? I see some hands, I see some nods. How about being afraid or nervous? Yes, me too. Were you ever lonely? Were you ever all those things at once? I think that we can give these young people some blessings from our congregation that they can take with them every day, whether or not they're in school. What do you think? Do you want some blessings? You're not sure? We're going to find out. We're going to put some blessings in your backpacks or in your hands and ultimately into your hearts. So a blessing is when we put our hopes and our love into something for someone we care about. It's like taking the love with you wherever you go. Reverend Rebecca and I thought it might be sweet if you would give us all, the adults, the chance to offer you all a blessing. How's that sound? If you feel love here on Sundays, we want you to know that that love is with you on all the other days. So let's do that, everyone. I would like you to bundle up some love from wherever you're storing it. Yes, maybe it's in your pockets or it might be up your sleeves. So go ahead, take a look for it. I know it's around here somewhere. Take it out, make a nice little ball of love, like a little snowball, except it's a love ball. Okay, that's it. I see you've got a lot of people ready out there. Now get ready to toss them to these young humans up here. Are you guys ready? I think I need you to stand up so you can really catch this, okay? So those of you with your backpacks, make sure they're open and hold them up to catch the love. And if you don't have a backpack, put your hands up in the air, get ready. Everybody ready? Okay, here we go. Blessings of love coming your way. Face them, they're gonna be throwing it to you. Coming your way in 3, 2, 1. You can throw more than one. We'll take as much as we can get. Did you get one? Oh my goodness, that was so great. All right. You know, that was so fun. Can we do that a few more times? Can we add some more blessings?
Yes, absolutely. I think we should definitely add more blessings. How about joy? How about everyone find the joy wherever we're keeping it? Oh, I found mine. Everybody find your joy. Find your joy. Get it and take it out and hold the joy.
Got some joy.
And wish all the joy you can to these amazing young people here and just toss it into your backpack.
Here we go, catch the joy.
All the joy. Yay!
And you know what?
Yay.
Let's do some courage. Can we add some courage in the mix for our final blessing here? We all need courage to feel brave. I'm going to take some too. Anyone?
You ready?
Thank you.
Woo! Woo!
That was so lovely. All right, now before we go down, we're about to go downstairs for Young Church, but we have some special FRS pencils for you. And they each have a special message on them of love and courage and joy. So go ahead, take one pencil and see which one you get. Elodie, did you get one? Beautiful. Thank you so much to everyone. We're going to head down to Young Church now.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere.
The generosity of our community is an essential ministry that supports the work of our church, both in Newburyport and beyond. Half of each Sunday's collection, not designated as a pledge, goes to support a local partner working to transform our region. This month's shared collection will support the Jeannie Geiger Crisis Center. Every year, the center helps over 1,200 survivors of domestic violence, both adults and children. In addition to your contribution, please consider participating in the Jeannie Geiger Crisis Center Walk Against Domestic Violence on Sunday, October 2nd from 8 to 11 a.m. You can register for the walk at jeanniegeigercrisiscenter.org. And you can join the FRS walking team by contacting Jeff Bard at jeffbard@hotmail.com. If you wish to give online, please use the link in your order of service or in the video description. You can also make a contribution via text message Of course, you can always mail a check to the church as well. The offering will now be gratefully received.
We are blessed by one another. Each Sunday, we take time in our service to lift up the joys and sorrows of our beloved faith community. Betsy Hazen, our pastoral care associate this morning, will light candles as I read the joys and sorrows that have been shared with me in advance of today's service. If you would like to share a joy or a sorrow to be read in the service, you can always send an email to me or to betweenus@frsuu.org. And we also have a journal that's located out in the vestibule that you can write your joy or sorrow in when you come into the sanctuary on a Sunday morning. This morning, we light a candle of joy as Rob Close and Betsy Hazen share their joy. They're overjoyed that Rob's daughter Jennifer and her significant other Jeffrey are here visiting for a few days from Portland, Oregon. They share that it's been 2.5 years and their hearts are full of love. We also light a candle of joy this morning as I share the wonderful news of actually my own and my husband Bart. We're thrilled to share the news that our first grandchild, Hadley Jade Amelia, was born on September 15th. At 3:13 a.m., she is 6 pounds and 14 ounces and 19 inches long. She has a full head of strawberry blonde hair. Everyone's doing well, and we will be en route to Connecticut after the service to say our first hellos. So we light a final candle as we do every week for all the sorrows and all the joys, which, though unspoken, are held in just as much love and care. I invite you now to join me in a spirit of prayer and meditation and centering. As this morning we use a tool of prayer and centering that is, for so many of us, a portal to that peace we seek. I invite you now to take in the music you're about to hear, to close your eyes if you're so moved, perhaps even place a hand upon your heart or your stomach. And if you choose to join in with humming or song, that's of course welcome, but just allow the music to lead you home.
Our reading this morning is entitled My Own Shore, and it is by our own beloved Reverend Rebecca M. Bryan. Dear God, I wish I could write all day to you, a love song with my heart and pen. I would say to you how patient and loving you are, and how long you have waited for me. I would serenade the brave little children in me who have clung to their past to survive, with hiding a virtue and lying a game. Oh God, guide me as I come home to you, our soul, my heaven inside, waiting to be free. Teach me the rhythms of the universe, how to say no, who and when to trust, how to make love to the air and enemies of none. My own voice and soul, free at last, singing, make me a kingdom of your soul, make me a kingdom of your peace. As I do unto others, may you do unto my heart, singing forever free, at last, forever free. Welcome home. Dungeon doors are open. The bats and vile ones leave where they tortured me in memory and taunted me in past. Come, rest, sleep. Give over your trust to me. Welcome home. Welcome to the living realms of your soul. Its waves and oceans are real. Her name is Rhyme. Ride her crests and know you are loved, soft and secure. Look for me today, and when you hear me, smile and wave, saying, I have found my own shore.
Thank you, choir. And thank you, Joanna. So before I start my prepared remarks, I just want to offer you an invitation. The invitation is this: what is it that stands in your way of peace? What is it that stands in your way of peace? I don't know that I'm direct enough in the remarks I'm about to share that actually is my hope for you today. That you will be able to touch or acknowledge or discover or admit that to yourself. And my deepest wish and prayer for all of us is that in so doing, the answer comes. Mine, so that my husband doesn't need to bear this burden alone, is how my heart has closed some during COVID. It was really hard. And I missed all of you so much. I have a ministry of relationship. Everyone's different. But mine is based on genuine connection and relationship. I think I've shared with you before that someone once asked me when they were preparing a recommendation a long time ago as I started seminary, well, why are you called to the ministry? And I said, because no one need ever be alone, ever. Same reason I'll offer memorial services to those who have no one. So what is it for you that stands in the way of peace? At some point over the last number of years, I'm going to mark 2016. It seems to me that seeking peace or being peaceful somehow started to become out of fashion, if not even uncool. It was around that time that some of my liberal friends began to label being peaceful as the easy way. Not everyone felt this way, certainly. Still, talking about peace or prayer or inner sanctuary, for me, became risky, easily misunderstood. It was as though seeking peace meant you didn't care. It felt to me as though concepts and spiritual practices that are core to who I am took on entirely different meanings in the public sphere. I can still see things, memes on Facebook. If you're praying, you're not doing anything. If you're at peace, you're not paying attention. Silence became synonymous only with complicity. Now, certainly, silence has that interpretation and meaning and truthful, and many others that are ancient. So let me just repeat, not everyone was saying this, and perhaps my own sensitivity, as I tend to be a rather sensitive soul, exaggerated this sentiment. Either way, I began to succumb to what I thought they were saying. And I began to sort of hide some of my spiritual practices and my belief in the power of peace and nonviolence. I questioned if I was in denial about their efficacy or role in today's world. I became quieter and less brave about sharing what really sustains me. Things have not gotten better in the world since 2016. We've had the pandemic, political unrest, wars, climate crisis, to name just a few. And more, with my own spiritual teachers in my heart, I am convinced it is peace we need. Yes, we need love, for sure. You know I am an advocate for radical, inclusive, brave, daring, authentic, healing love. We also need peace. I am not advocating for peace as a withdrawal or a way to live in denial about what is happening in the world. I'm reminding us that we need to be committed to peace, or I do, and I need to experience it within myself so that I can respond to what is happening around me from a centered and kind place as much as possible. For love without peace runs the risk of causing harm, while peace without love runs the risk of living apart from all that needs healing. It's essential if we're to experience this peace that we all have within us, this peace that reminds us of life's beauty and the rest of that inner sanctuary. We're hungry to experience this peace between us so we feel our belonging. We belong to one another. And we need peace beyond us so the world has a chance to remember its inherent goodness. This peace I'm talking about is a feeling, it's a place within us, it's an experience in our bodies and hearts, not simply an intellectual concept. Even when something or someone outside of us helps us connect with it, it is felt within us. Peace is also a verb. It's a way of responding to what is happening. It's closely aligned with kindness and compassion. It's powerful and it is strong. I have seen peace break down defenses that have been generations in the making. Being peaceful does not mean we don't care. I cannot care well if I am at war within myself. If we aren't experiencing this peace at church and learning how to bring it into our day-to-day lives and into the world, then where are we to find it? And not that it's not found elsewhere. I have shared this, and I'll be brief in reminding us or anyone who hasn't heard, but I shared last Sunday and in a letter to the congregation that we are committed to creating this space as the place you enter. And when you walk across that threshold, you breathe a sigh of relief. I'm considering having river rocks or stones or water or baskets where you can literally bless yourself and lay your burdens down just for this time. You can pick them up again on your way out. You may find them changed. We'll always be committed to justice. It's so core to who we are as Unitarian Universalists. That's not changing. I hope you'll all participate in these Sunday justice gatherings we're going to have once a month. The first is October 2nd. After church, lunch together, fellowship, salad, soup, and learning about these issues that are so important to us. We all have a source of peace within us. Some people call it self with a capital S, or soul. Some call it God or goddess. Some know it as goodness, compassion. Still others experience it as something called the neutral mind. It is calm. It is wise. It knows what to do and how to respond in any situation. Neuroscientific research has proven that when we can be in touch with this, we are actually more engaged with life. It supports our immune system. It increases our resiliency. It allows us to see opportunities in situations that we couldn't see otherwise. We are less likely to overreact. Experiencing a connection with this place within us increases our ability to be clear and direct when we need to be, while still being compassionate and kind. Internal family systems, which is a therapeutic approach developed by Dr. Richard Schwartz in Boston, asserts that every person, and this is our Universalist heritage, is born with this self, capital S, and nothing can destroy it. It is not something we have to learn. It is something we need to rediscover. Nothing can destroy it. Certainly, our psyches develop defenses and schemas to deal with trauma and pain, no question. And even the most traumatized of people have this within them, this place of peace. These characteristics are indicative of it, if you will. So this place, this inner self, we know we're in touch with it when we have feelings of calm or curiosity, clarity, compassion, confidence, courage, creativity, connectedness. Religions and peace organizations have been naming this for ages. The Buddha said, and I'll quote, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." A Native American proverb reminds us, it is no longer good enough to cry peace. We must act peace. We must live peace and live in peace. And what did Jesus say when he died? What did he leave? Peace. The Gospel of John says, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled. And do not be afraid." It's important to recognize that peace comes most often in moments. If we set ourselves up to think this is how we have to feel all the time, we will fail. Moments, ordinary moments, sacred moments. We look up on a morning walk at the newly forming autumn leaves and know peace. We laugh with friends and recognize the peace in that sound. We listen to beautiful cello music and our heart rate slows. And the key is to take the time when these moments happen to soak them into our bodies and brains. And this has been proven. That's our task. When those moments happen, pause. 10 to 30 seconds, it's been proven. We are wired for negativity. We are wired for fear-based responses. And there are many reasons why. It takes significantly more effort and attention to let those moments of peace change us. And the good news is, you don't have to do it when it happens. You can sit here right now and bring into your body and your nervous system and your mind one of those moments. And your brain will change, your body will settle. So the question is what I started with, what stands in the way of our peace? As I think about this, and in my experience, there are three categories of things. There are many, many things that stand in the way of our peace. But it helped me to try to put them into sort of buckets, if you will. And I'm naming three. I'm sure there are many others. One of those buckets is something I'm calling unhelpful mental constructs. The second, self-judgment. And the third is unresolved emotion. So unhelpful mental constructs may include false beliefs, denial, unrealistic expectations that we have for ourselves and others. I have learned that walking into any situation with expectations is a set up. And the greatest way to be pleased is to go in open-handed. Self-judgment may show up, and I've lived this, with feelings of guilt when it comes to peace. who am I to feel peaceful when there's so much pain in the world or my family? Or we set such high expectations of feeling peace that we're sure to fall short. Unresolved emotions can include resentment, grief, shame. Thich Nhat Hanh said, if we've not transformed our inner blocks of suffering, hatred, and fear, they prevent us from communicating and understanding and making peace. I know that many of us were not taught how to resolve those things. For many people, feeling peace is not easy. For multitudes of reasons, we live in heightened states of fear and anxiety. Trauma of any kind results in psychological changes to our brains and our hormones, and it takes time and skill and support to change those things. It isn't done all at once, and it's possible. When we let out the unresolved feelings trapped in our bodies in helpful and healing ways, the peace that can follow is like none other. I wrote the poem that Joanna read a little while ago this morning, a few hours after releasing some of that pain that I'm talking about. When asked how we make progress towards peace, Thich Nhat Hanh said, we do this by uprooting the roots of violence and war within ourselves. The antidote to violence and hatred, he said, is compassion. There's no other medicine. So lest we doubt the importance of peace, we're going to do two brief exercises. One is internal and one is with someone near you. Internally, think about the most peaceful person you know. They may be dead or alive, someone you know well, someone you follow as a teacher, a musician, a childhood classroom teacher. What is the impact that person has on your life? My guess is they will never know that. Let us never underestimate the power of peace. And I hope you turn to that person or people as often as possible, listening to their recordings, reading words, seeing their smile in your mind, feeling their touch in your heart. To know peace, we need to befriend ourselves and need to be unafraid of what we find inside of ourselves. We need companions who will be with us as we share this journey. We need a place or places to put down our worries and the weight of this world and simply allow what is to be for a while. And then when we're ready after a minute or 20, we can return to our days, a little more aware, a little more able to connect, a little more willing to see what is and hold it. This place, these walls, these people, this online stream can hold that space. Together we can enter that space and sometimes even hold each other's hands while we go there. So as a way to close this morning, I invite you to turn to someone sitting next to you and just look in their eyes. If there isn't someone next, if you don't want to participate, just gaze down. There's no pressure. If there isn't someone next to you who wants to participate, just maybe put your hand up a little. I've got many folks here who are happy to scoot around and join you. And I see some hands raised, so some pastoral care associates and worship associates, let's join together for 30 seconds of peace, looking in one another's eyes. peace, goodness, calm. It is within us all. And I invite us to make room to welcome it. If you discovered that thing inside you that is your barrier from peace, I encourage you to remember that. Perhaps talk about it with loved ones, trusted ones, me, people here, journal, whatever you do to allow yourself to find a way through. May you know peace. May you be peace this day and every day, even for a minute, and hopefully much more. Amen and blessed be. Let's rise, embody our spirit, and join in our closing hymn, number 126, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. Remain standing, and let's join together in our unison benediction as Joanna extinguishes the chalice. The words are in your order of service. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. My friends, as we go from this place today, may we go joined with one another, joined with ourself, joined with a commitment to know the blessings of peace, to share that in all the work for justice that we do, to recognize and realize that we are the hands of goodness in this world. We are the hands of goodness. Go in peace, my friends. Return again in great joy. Amen and blessed be.